Hello, and welcome to my speed paint and rant, a little segment I am starting where I draw a little D&D character from my D&D webcomic, and I rant about current issues that are happening. Today, I'm going to be talking about Girl World and Amberlynn Reid. I'm going to be talking about how she has unchecked narcissism instead of BPD and just how I don't like her, honestly. I used to like her. There was a point I used to be a baby. I hate that I was, but it was around 2016 and I was also struggling with weight and feeling like myself. And I thought I could relate to her. And there's still times where I feel like I can relate to her, but as in a level of holy crap, I used to be like that. I used to have these issues and I refused to work on them. Thankfully, I've taken the steps into bettering myself with therapy, medication, and just overall taking accountability for my actions. I think taking the accountability was the hardest part, but the most rewarding. Therapy does help significantly, and it's helped me a lot. But I feel like knowing that I was in the wrong and realizing how I was in the wrong is the biggest steps in why I've changed and become a better person and why I think Amberlynn Reid might do a lot better by taking accountability for her actions. First off, I do want to say that if you are diagnosed with narcissism, that doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you need to work on yourself a little bit more. Just like any other mental illness, narcissism is just another mental illness. Just means you need to work a little bit harder on your actions and who you are. It doesn't make you a bad person. What makes you a bad person is blaming anything else but yourself for your action. You have to realize who's in the wrong. And yes, it is hard and uncomfortable sometimes to realize you are the wrong and apologize for it. But that is the most rewarding step. Now, why do I think Amberlynn has narcissism? Well, there's the lack of empathy for others, there's the overly defensive, never taking accountability, and just having a strange obsession with herself in general. Like, this girl is so obsessed with her, it's insane. Like, she just loves herself so much that she won't change at all. And, like, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself. Everybody should love themselves because everybody is a beautiful piece of human being who deserves love. It's just to a point of Amberlynn Ree's obsession is where it gets wrong because she never believes herself to be in the wrong. She always believes she is the victim, which she's not always the victim. Yes, there are situations where she is a victim, but of recently, she's not the victim. My first reason why I just don't really believe her to have BPD, well, sorry, my first reason to why I don't believe her to have empathy is constantly using empathy as like a way to gain sympathy or to make herself look better. She only says she's empathetic or she has empathy when it's to make herself look good. Because I mean, like, if you are an empathetic person, you put yourself in others' shoes. You feel the way others feel. You feel bad for the struggles that other people go through. I'm not saying I'm an empathetic person. I do have empathy for people who are in need and who are struggling. Like, it makes me feel bad about their situation, and I wish there was more that I could do. But that, like, as I said, it doesn't make me an empathetic person. It just means I have empathy. And the way Amberlynn Reid, mm, sorry, I'm thinking about this one moment where she was talking about a reaction channel who had, I believe it was a heart attack or it was a stroke, but they were hospitalized, and somebody was telling her on her live stream, and her response was, "No, gotta find my sympathy bone." If you actually had empathy or were an empathetic person, you wouldn't just say that. Like, you wouldn't say that in general. Even if you hated the person or didn't like the person, you wouldn't just say that about them, you know? You would talk about, like, hey, yeah, this person is struggling and that sucks and I feel bad for it. Or, you wouldn't just make light of the situation. You get what I'm saying? Like, she's just crazy, man. So crazy. Sorry, I do want to apologize. I know my thoughts and everything is just scrambled and every which way and stuff. But this is my own platform where I am going to be voicing my opinions in the way I want to voice my opinions. So that's just how I'm going to do it, you know? Anyways, another reason why I think of her to have narcissism is the overly defensive wall she has. Anytime somebody's trying to call her out on something, it can be over the smallest things. She instantly thinks, oh, well, it's this and then it's that, or I wasn't feeling good that day, or, there's just excuses and never just, hey, yeah, I'm in the wrong. Let me fix it. Or, yeah, I'm in the wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Or, anything but actually taking accountability is what Ember does. And that is another way of having unchecked narcissism is, constantly being defensive over yourself because you can never be in the wrong. You can never be just, you have to be perfect is what it is. And I don't think Amber thinks that she's perfect. I do think that she thinks she's wonderful, which I'm not gonna say that or not, It's not my place. I just don't like her. I don't like her anymore. So that's my opinion is she's a bad person. And yeah, she's a bad person. I do think she can change, obviously. Anybody can change. But I think she won't change because she's comfortable. And what do I mean by the fact that she is comfortable? Well, I mean, like, she's comfortable in her situation. Change is something that's extremely uncomfortable to go through. Nobody truly wants to make the big change. I mean, it's hard, it's uncomfortable. Switching up how you eat, how you live is just uncomfortable. And I don't think she's comfortable with change, and I don't think she ever will be comfortable. But in order to change and actually improve yourself, you have to make yourself uncomfortable with your situation. And because she's uncomfortable with change, she will never leave the relationship she's in. And it's a terrible relationship for the both of them. They're both suffering through it. I mean, they're both toxic for each other. And the time period of from when they were broken up to when they got together is messy. And that is not enough time for either one of them to heal or just better themselves. It takes almost years to truly work on yourself and better yourself. And Amber thinks just a month or a few weeks is good enough. It's not. That's not how healing works. Anyway, I don't like the relationship she's in now. It's not my place to say she needs to break up with her or not, but in my opinion, I think a breakup is what the both of them need, and time apart and actual time to self heal and everything like that. But it won't happen because it's Amberlynn Reid we're talking about, the girl who's always victimizing herself. There's so much layers to just everything about Amberlynn Reid. And I don't mean that like figuratively. I mean, yeah, she has a lot of layers, obviously. But I mean that as there's so much that we don't know and there's so much we can't see or confirm because this girl is a known liar. I mean, she lies about the smallest things and just lies about everything. Especially with the new LCU or the local bus stuff. Like, every thing she talks about, you can't take her seriously on anything. And it's exhausting because you don't know what's real or what's not. And that's just the thing about Amber that makes her so exhausting is there's just so much we can't know. And we're constantly trying to fix the puzzle. But there's just these weird pieces that just don't fit together. And that's more reasons why I just don't like her and why I think she has unchecked narcissism and not BPD. Yes, she could have BPD. She could. She doesn't have to show us any medical paperwork. Yeah, I know the whole girl world community wants medical paperwork to actually confirm it. But I mean, it's her right to not share that information a bit, but it's also we just can't know because from what I've seen and from what others seen, it doesn't look like BPD. It looks like narcissism, and she just cannot wrap her head around that she might have been misdiagnosed. Which misdiagnosis happens a lot. I mean, I've been misdiagnosed with everything my whole life, so it's always best to get a second opinion or just a third opinion at best. You never could be so sure. And yeah, you can have BPD and narcissism together. A dangerous combo, I might add, but it still can be helped and can be worked on, just like any other mental illness. Just needs to put a little bit of extra time and work into it. And that's something she won't do because she does not like working. She does not like working on herself, working in general. I mean, girl took months off just for mental health, which I understand. Don't get me wrong. Mental health is a big struggle for myself and for a lot of people I know. Yes, you need breaks every time to time, but the amount that she takes is always whenever she's being called out for something, and she'll take the time off to try to hide what she's been called out for. Anyways, I can't keep ranting about this biatch, this unchecked narcissistic bitch. So I'm going to talk about my art a little bit more. The character, as I said from the beginning, his name is Aelin. He is a lesser god of my D&D world, and I've been working on a comic to hopefully show my D&D world to everybody. It's an ongoing campaign that's been around for about 6 years. Holy crap. But me and my friends play it a lot, and it's just a nice way to escape reality besides Girl World. And this little guy, he is a chaotic demon mess. He's Fae, but also not, because he's the child of a god. So there's that. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'm sorry my words and everything are so jumbled and unfiltered, or not unfiltered, but just not put together. I'm new to all this and I'm hoping to get better at it. Anyways, feedback is appreciated, criticism is welcome. Just try to be a little nice about it. That's all I ask. I love being a silly goober, but I'm a little sensitive as well. I know it's crazy because I'm talking about Girl World, and Girl World is wacky with stuff. So, there's that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and did enjoy this video. If you want to look at more of my art, check out my Tumblr page, link in the bio. And yeah, that's it. Have a great one.